Hi guys, can you all hear me?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good morning, Janaka. Okay, so guys, so let's start off by discussing the assignment. Okay, so assignment means your next assignment for this module, resource management in health and social care. Okay, so let me show you the assignment first. Can you all see the Word document?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Thanks for that confirmation. Okay. Yeah. So this is your assignment for this module. Okay. So you already did an assignment for the communication module, and you have an assignment for resource management module as well. Okay. So this assignment is your assignment for resource management in health and social care module. Okay. So yeah. I'm sure you guys are familiar with these pages now. So this is your module standard cover page. This is your cover page. Okay, so yeah, so when you do this assignment, what you have to do is just go to the end of this document. Yeah, so this is the end. So just go to the end of the document, press enter until you reach a new page and start typing from a new page onwards. Okay, so do not remove anything from this document. Okay, I gave this same advice in your assignment one as well. I mean, in your previous assignment as well. Okay, so do not remove anything from this assignment. Um, like keep everything as it is. Keep this entire document. Just go to the last page, press enter, and press enter until you reach a new page. And once you reach a new page, start typing your assignment uh, from this new page. Okay, so just everything else you have to keep as it is. Okay, so I mean all the things in this document should be kept as it is. Do not remove anything. Um, just scroll down and start typing your assignment from a new page onwards. Okay. All right, so let me go into the first page. Okay, so your first page as usual. Okay, so this is a page that you are familiar with now. This is your cover page. Okay, so this is your standard cover page. So in this cover page, I have filled some details for you guys, like the name of the program, the level, unit title, date of delivery, date of submission. These details I already filled. Okay, so you have to fill only your details. Okay, your name, your OTHM registration number, your Somerset admission number, your contact, and your email. Okay, so the rest of the details I have already filled in. You guys just need to fill in your details, like your personal details, like your registration numbers, admission numbers, contact numbers, and emails. Okay, so yeah. So the first thing that you need to do is like fill in these details. Okay, fill in your name here, type in your name here, type your autumn registration number here, type your Somerset admission number here, type your contact numbers here, and type your emails here. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is fill in this table in the cover page. Okay, and date of delivery means the date on which I'm delivering the assignment, which is today. Okay, so today's date is 16th October 2022. Okay, and as usual, you will get 1 month to submit the assignment. Okay, so the date of submission is 16th November 2022, exactly 1 month from today. Okay, so Yeah, so you are getting this assignment today on 16th October, and you need to finish the assignment and submit it on 16th November, 16th next month. Okay, so and this part, you don't have to do anything in this part, guys. This is only for the office use, to be used by OTHM UK and to be used by Somerset, to be used by the lecturer and the OTHM people in UK. So this is only for the office use. Do not write anything in this part. Okay, and then yeah, so here in this page, you can see a little bit of an overview about the resource management module. Okay, so yeah, so here in this table, you can see the unit level of this module, unit level 4, because this is a level 4 diploma. So the unit level is 4, and then like some other details about the module in this table. And then the most important thing, you can see over here, learning outcomes and assessment criteria. Okay, so guys, like I mentioned this to you in our first lecture also. I mean, in our first lecture, in our first resource management lecture. Okay, so I gave you a little bit of an overview about this module. So there, in that lecture, I showed you the number of learning outcomes that we have and the number of assessment criteria that we have for this resource management module. Okay, so for this module, for this resource management in health and social care module, we have 4 learning outcomes. Okay, and we have these assessment criteria: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so there are 13 assessment criteria. Okay, so each learning outcome is broken down into several assessment criteria. Okay, so this learning outcome is broken down into these assessment criteria, and this learning outcome is broken down into these assessment criteria, and learning outcome 3 is broken down into these assessment criteria, and learning outcome 4 is broken down into these assessment criteria. Okay, so each LO, each learning outcome is broken down into several assessment criteria. So when you do your assessment, you need to cover all these assessment criteria to get a pass. Okay, so that is how the assignments work. Okay, so guys, yeah, so we have already covered these in our lectures. So we have today's lecture is the lecture number 8. So far, I mean, if, excluding today's lecture, we have done 7 lectures for this resource management module. So in those 7 lectures, we covered all these first 3 learning outcomes. Okay, so we have already covered first 3 learning outcomes. So we have covered all these assessment criteria under learning outcome 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so these topics we have already discussed. Okay, so when I issue this assignment today, you can start doing your assignment, because we have covered 80% of the like more than 80%, actually about 85% of the syllabus. Okay, we have covered all the first 3 learning outcomes up to here. Okay, so this is the topic that we will be discussing today. Okay, and in your lecture 9 and 10, we will be discussing these 3 topics. Okay, so then we will be done with this subject. Okay, so yeah, so these are the learning outcomes and assessment criteria. Okay, so now let's see what you guys are supposed to do in this assignment. Okay, so yeah, so this assignment also has 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Like your first assignment, this one also has 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2. Okay, so let me show you what you are supposed to do in task 1. So let me zoom this in. Yes, okay, so this is task 1. So your task 1 covers learning outcome 1 and learning outcome 2. Okay, so the first two learning outcomes are covered in task 1. Okay, and these are the assessment criteria covered in task 1. Okay, so now let's see what you guys are supposed to do in task 1. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do in task 1. With reference to health and social care settings, write an essay about the management of human resources and different leadership and management styles. Okay, so in task 1, task 1 is about writing an essay. Okay, so in task 1, what you have to do is write an essay. Okay, and your essay should cover these topics. Okay, so these are the topics. So guys, these are actually assignment criteria. Okay, so if you go to the previous page and check here, these are assessment criteria. Okay, so these are the topics that you need to cover to get a pass for this module. Okay, so yeah, so in your essay, you should write about these topics. Okay, so basically in task 1, you have to write an essay, and in your essay, you need to include these topics, and you need to cover these topics in your essay. Okay, so so explain the purpose of human resource management. Okay, so the purpose of human resource management, objectives of human resource management, describe management and leadership styles, the importance of supervision and appraisal, the importance of recruitment and retention of staff, theories of team development, analyze how to manage the impact of change. Okay, so we have discussed all these topics in our lectures. Okay, so you can refer the lecture notes and get some information from the lecture notes as well. Okay, so yeah, so you can refer the lecture notes. Like if you have a look at the lecture notes, you will be able to see that we have discussed all these topics in our lectures. Okay, so yeah, so task 1 is about an essay. Okay, so when you write your essay, make sure you include these areas. Okay, so yeah, so what you can do is when you write your essay, you can do it like this. Okay, so yeah, you can write this as a topic. Okay, so let's look at the first assignment criteria that you need to cover. For task 1, explain the purpose of human resource management. Okay, so what you can do is write this when you write your essay for task 1. Put this as the topic, write this as the topic, and then under that topic, you can explain the purpose of human resource management. Okay, and then you put the second topic. You put this one as the second topic. Explain the objectives of human resource management. And then under that, you write your answer. Okay, and then you put this one as your topic, this management and leadership styles. Okay, and under that, you can type your answer. Okay, and this one, importance of supervision and appraisal, write this as a topic, and under that topic you can write your answer. Okay, so මේ assessment criteria මේ තියෙන්නේ මෙතන මේ දීලා තියෙන assessment criteria නේ. එතකොට you can like write them, I mean write this one as the topic and write your answer, and then write the next criteria as the topic and ඊට පස්සේ ඒකේ යටතේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ answer එක ලියන්න. ඒ topic එකට අදාළ answer එක ලියන්න. Okay, and then you write this one, and then you put this one as your topic, and then you write your answer under that topic. Okay, මේ මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා topics විදිහට දාන්න. හරිද? මේක topic එකක් විදිහට දාලා ඒක යටතේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ answer එක ඒ topic එකට answer එක ලියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ assignment criteria එක ඊළඟ topic එක විදිහට දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. ඊළඟ assessment criteria එක topic එක විදිහට දානවා. ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. ඒ විදිහට කරගෙන යන්න. Okay, so that is how you should write the essay. Okay, so guys, so I remember you guys had an essay for your assignment 1 as well. So ඕගොල්ලෝ ඒ essay එක මේ විදිහට නෙමෙයි නම් කරේ. කියන්නේ ඒ essay එක එක දිගට ලියාගෙන ගියා නම් do not worry about it at all, because like I also didn't ask you to follow this format in your assignment 1, right? So I can accept that for assignment 1. හරිද? මේ විදිහට topics දාලා නෙමෙයි නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ පළවෙනි assessment එක කරේ. පළවෙනි assessment එකේ essay part එක කළේ. Do not worry about it now, because I mean I didn't ask you guys to do it as well. නේ කියන්නේ මම ඔයගලන්ට essay එකේ specific format එකක් කිව්වේ නෑනේ in your assignment 1. So that is fine, but for this assignment you should do it this way. Okay, so since I'm telling you guys to follow this format, you need to follow it for this assignment. Okay, so මෙතන මේ task 1 එකේ essay එක එක දිගට ලියන් යන්න එපා. topics දාලා ලියාගෙන යන්න. Okay, and your topics should not be, so your topics should not be whatever you want. Your topics should be these. Okay, so these are your topics. Okay, so you put this one. So when you write your essay, you put this one as the first topic, and then you write your answer. And then this one as your second topic, and you write your answer. And this one is your third topic, and you write your answer. Okay, and this one is your fourth topic, and then you write your answer. This one is your fifth topic, and then you write your answer. Okay, so likewise topics දාගෙන answers ලියාගෙන යන්න for this task 1. Okay, so that is how you should write this essay for your task 1. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so all these topics should be covered. All these topics that I highlighted in yellow over here, all these topics should be covered for task 1. Okay, and yeah, so the submission should be in the form of an essay written in Word format. Okay, so your task 1 should be in the form of an essay written in Word format. Okay, so yeah, so please note this point, guys. It should be, your submission should be in Word format. Okay, so do not submit other formats like PDFs. Okay, because when you submit other formats, those cannot be marked. Only Word formats can be marked. Okay, so yeah, so make sure to submit as a Word format. Okay, so do not convert it to PDF. This is something really important. Do not convert once you finish your assignment in Word, do not convert the Word document into anything else like PDF or anything else. Just submit that Word document. Okay, so the submissions should be in the form of Microsoft Word documents. Okay, so you should submit your assignments in Word format. Okay, and the recommended word limit is 1,500 words. Okay, so the recommended word limit for task 1. Okay, so there are 2 tasks. Right now we are discussing about task 1. So the word limit for task 1, the word limit for this essay is 1,500 words. Okay, 1,500 words excluding diagrams, references and appendices. Okay, so excluding කියන්නේ diagrams, ඔගොල්ලෝ මොන හරි diagrams දානවා නම් ඒ diagrams references are compulsory. You have to put references. So references දැම්මහම reference list එකේ තියෙන words සහ diagrams වල තියෙන words මේ word count එකට count වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, so excluding diagrams, references and appendices කියන්නේ ඒකයි. If you put any diagrams, the words that you have in those diagrams will not contribute to the word limit. And the words that you have in your reference list will also not contribute to the word limit. Okay, so yeah, so your word count, your word limit for the task 1 for this essay should be 1500 words, excluding these. Okay, excluding diagrams and references. Without diagrams and references, excluding diagrams and references, the essay should have 1500 words. Okay, and then referencing, the most important thing. Okay, so yeah, so you guys can definitely refer my lecture notes, and you can take information from lecture notes. But as I mentioned in the previous assignment also, if you when you take information from the lecture notes, make sure to write it in your own words. Okay, do not copy directly from lecture notes, because all of you guys have the same lecture note, right? So if everyone copied and pasted from lecture notes, then your essays look similar. So it end up looking like you guys have copied from each other. Okay, so that's why I said do not copy and paste directly from lecture notes. You guys can definitely take information from lecture notes, but just make sure to write them in your own words. Okay, and yeah, and if you take information from lecture notes, you do not need to put citations or references for lecture notes, but for everything else, you need to put citations and references in Harvard referencing style. Okay, so you are expected to use relevant academic and reliable sources and clearly reference these in your work. Okay, so yeah, so here they say you are expected to use relevant academic and reliable sources, right? So that means referring only the lecture notes is not sufficient for assignments. Okay, you can take information from lecture notes, but referring only the lecture notes is not enough, is not sufficient for assignments. Okay, so you are expected like autumn this autumn UK qualification, they expect you to refer other academic and reliable sources as well for these assignments. Okay, so they do not prohibit you from referring lecture notes. Of course, you can refer lecture notes and get information from there, but referring only the lecture notes is not enough. Okay, it's not enough for a university level. Okay, so you are expected, you should refer other sources, other academic and reliable sources as well. Okay, and guys, whatever the sources that you refer should be reliable. Okay, so reliable කියන්නේ rely කරන්න පුළුවන් sources තමයි that you have to use for your assignments. Okay, so for example, do not take any information from Wikipedia. Like Wikipedia is the least reliable source. The reliability ගොඩාක් අඩු එකක් තමයි Wikipedia කියන්නේ, because anybody can edit information in Wikipedia. Even I can edit. Okay, කියන්නේ subject specialist කෙනෙක්ට නෙමෙයි, කිසිම කියන්නේ Wikipedia එකේ මොකක් හරි තියෙන දෙයක් ගැන කිසිම දෙයක් දන්නේ නැති කෙනෙක්ට උනත් they can go ahead and edit whatever available in Wikipedia. Okay, so like anybody can edit it. Like people who don't have any idea about the subject can also go ahead and edit things and write whatever they want in Wikipedia. Okay, so Wikipedia is not reliable at all. So do not take any information from Wikipedia. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that Wikipedia වලින් කිසිම information එකක් ගන්න එපා. There are like so many other reliable sources like journal articles, and like online articles, and there are some reliable websites as well. Okay, so refer those kind of reliable sources. Do not refer Wikipedia. Do not get any information from Wikipedia because it's not reliable. Okay, and yeah, and then you should put citations and references both. Okay, so yeah, so do not citations නැතුව references විතරක් දාන්නත් එපා, citation references නැතුව citations විතරක් දාලා ඉවන්නත් එපා. Just make sure that both citations and references are needed for your assignment. Okay, citations and references දෙකම අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි නැති වුණොත් it is considered as plagiarism. Okay, so again citations නැතුව references විතරක් තිබ්බොත් plagiarism කියලා consider වෙනවා. එහෙම නැතුව ඒකේ අනිත් පැත්ත referencing නැතුව citations විතරක් තිබ්බත් it goes as plagiarism. Okay, so both are mandatory, both are compulsory. Citations and references both are compulsory. So your assignment should have both citations and references. Citations and references දෙකම දාලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ in Harvard referencing style. Okay, so this is the referencing style that you followed for your assignment one, for your previous assignment as well. So stick to that. Okay, so you need to use Harvard referencing style. Okay, and that's about task 1. And then task 2. Okay, so yeah, so let's see what you guys are supposed to do for task 2. Okay, so task 2 covers your learning outcome 3 and learning outcome 4. Okay, so the assignment task 2 covers learning outcome 3 and learning outcome 4. And these are the assessment criteria covered in task 2. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assessment criteria covered in task 2. Okay, so let's see what you guys are supposed to do in task 2. With reference to health and social care settings, write an essay. Okay, so task 2 is also an essay. Write an essay about the regulation and inspection of health and social care services and the management of financial resources. Use examples from real life practices, real life work practices, or conduct research using appropriate examples from media sources. You should include these. Okay, so guys, as you can see here, task 2 is also an essay. Yes, task 2 is also an essay, and your essay should cover these topics. Okay, so these are the topics that you should cover in your essay in task 2. Okay, so make sure to cover all these, make sure to write about all these topics. Okay, so මං අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා task 1 එකේ කිව්වා වගේ task 2 එකෙත් put this as the topic. හරිද, මේකනේ first topic එක in task 2. So put this as the topic and write your answer. And then after that, put this one as your second topic and write the answer. And then put this one as the third topic and write your answer. ඊට පස්සේ මේක fourth topic එක විදිහට දානවා, ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. And then මේක fifth topic එක විදිහට දානවා, ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. And then මේක last topic එක විදිහට දානවා, ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. ඒ විදිහට කරගෙන යන්න මේ essay එක. හරිද? Put these ones as your topics. හරිද? මේ මෙතන ඒගොල්ලෝ assessment criteria නෙමෙයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ assessment criteria topics විදිහට දාන්න. හරිද? මේක topic එකක් විදිහට දාන්න, ඒකට answer එක ලියන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ criteria එක topic එකක් විදිහට දානවා, ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ criteria එක topic එකක් විදිහට දානවා, ඒකට answer එක ලියනවා. හරිද? ඒ විදිහට කරගෙන යන්න. Okay, so your essay should have these topics. Okay, and make sure to cover all these topics. Okay, because you have to cover all these topics to get the pass for the module. Okay, so yeah, so these are the topics that you should include in your task 2. Okay, so as I said, the submission should be in form of an essay, and we are accepting only Word formats. Okay, so the assignment should be submitted in a Word format in a Microsoft Word format. And the recommended word limit for this task is also 1500. Okay, so task 1 ekata 1000, the word limit for task 1 is 1500 words and word limit for task 2 is also 1500 words excluding diagrams, references and appendices. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ diagrams, references, appendices වල තියෙන words word count එකට count වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ටික මග ඇරලා ඒ ටික නැතුව ඔයා essay එකේ ලියන words ටික 1500 words වෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so the word count for task 1 is 1500 and word count for task 2 is 1500. Okay, and for task 2 also you need to refer reliable sources and you have to put citations and references both for task 2 as well. Okay, so references should be like the citations should be added to the text and references should be placed at the end in a reference list using Harvard referencing style. Okay, so this is the referencing style that you need to use for task 2 as well. Okay, so for task 2 essay also you need to use the Harvard referencing style. Okay, and yeah, so these are the assessment guidelines. So this is, as you guys can see, this is an individual written assessment. Okay, and the assessment submission is 30 days from the date of assignment delivery. So 30 days from today, which means 16th of November. Okay, so you need to submit your assignment on 16th of November. Okay, and yeah, and it is a must. It is compulsory to submit the assignment on time. Late submissions will not be accepted. And assignments should be submitted as a MS Word document. Okay, make sure to submit your assignment as a MS Word document. Do not submit in any other formats because any other formats will not be accepted. Only the MS Word format will be accepted. So submit in that format, in Microsoft Word format. Do not submit in any other formats. Okay, so yeah. Okay, do not convert to PPTs or PDFs, just submit as a Microsoft Word document. Okay, and yeah, and you should adhere to the word count mentioned in the assignment brief. A 10% leeway either side of this range is permitted before the assessor or the lecturer is instructed to stop reading any further. Okay, so I explained this point to you guys in your first assignment as well. Okay, so 10% leeway either side කියන්නේ 10% word count එක 10% පොඩ්ඩක් එහාට මෙහාට 10% එහාට මෙහාට වීමක් වුණාට කමක් නැහැ කියන එක. Okay, so for example, we have 1500 words for task 1. Right? So 1500 වල 1500 වල 10% කියන්නේ 150. The 1000 sorry. Yeah, 1500 වල 10% කියන්නේ 150. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ task 1 වල 150 words පොඩ්ඩක් එහාට මෙහාට වුණාට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. කියන්නේ 150 words අඩු වුණත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. 150 words වැඩි වුණත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ 1500 වලින් 150 ගියාම 1350 නේ. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ word count එක කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ word count එක 1350 වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. and 10% වැඩි වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ 150 වැඩි වුණත් කමක් නැහැ 1500 වලට වඩා. ඒ කියන්නේ 1650. හරිද? ඒක තමයි 10% leeway either side කියන්නේ ඒක. Okay, 10% word count එකේ 10% වල අඩු වැඩි වීමක් වුණාට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. හරිද? 10% then 1500 is your word count for task 1. Okay, so ඒකේ 10% අඩු වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ 1350 ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. 10% වැඩි වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ 1650 ලිව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. Okay, so any word count within 1350 to 1650 is acceptable. Okay, but if you write more than 1650, හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ හිතන්නකෝ if you write 1700, so this is the acceptable range, right? So this is the acceptable range. This is the acceptable range. So if you write beyond this acceptable range, if you write more than 1650, those extra words will not be checked by the lecturer. That is how OTHM has advised the lecturers to do to mark the assignments. Okay, කියන්නේ ඔගොල්ලෝ 1700 assignment එකේ ලියලා තිබ්බොත් 1650 වෙනකන් විතරයි අපි බලන්නේ. 1650 ඉඳන් තව 50 words තියෙනවානේ extra for 2700 වෙන තව 50 extra words තියෙනවානේ. ඒ 50 extra words mark කරන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, so 1650 වෙනකන් 1650th word එක වෙනකන් තියෙන words විතරයි will words විතරයි lecturer check කරන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ. The extra amount that you have written will not be checked. Okay, so be super cautious about the word count because නිකං බොරුවට extra words ලියන්න අපරාධනේ if they are not getting checked also. I mean, for the extra words will not be checked, right? So එක අපරාධනේ that you spend your time and effort, everything to write those extra words and they are not being checked by the lecturer also. So that's like aparadane. So just be very careful about the word count. Okay, so do not waste your time and effort to write like unnecessarily lengthy stories. Just stick to the word limit. Okay, so anything within 1350 to 1650 is acceptable. Okay, if you write more than 1650, those extra words will not be checked by the lecturer. Okay, so stick to this word count. Okay, so this is the word count for task 2 as well, guys, because task 2 is also an essay and the recommended word limit for task 2 is also 1500. So this applies here as well. Right, the task 2 එකටත් this is the acceptable range. 1350 ඉඳන් 1650 වෙනකම් word limit එකක් we can accept that. Okay, හරිද? මේ range එකේ තියෙන word limit එකක් මේ range එකේ තමයි word limit එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ range එක තමයි acceptable range එක. Okay, එතකොට do not write more than 1650 and do not මට ඒක කියන්න අමතකුණා. Do not write less than 1350 as well. Okay, 10% leave එක අඩු වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් වැඩි වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් 10% නේ. එතකොට අඩු වුණත් අඩුම තරමේ 1350 words තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so do not write less than this. Make sure to write at least 1350 words. Do not write less than this. Okay, I mean 1350 words කියන්නේ අඩුම තරමේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ word limit එක. හරිද? ඒකටත් වඩා අඩුවෙන් ලියන්න යන්න එපා. Make sure you have at least 1350 words in task 1 and in task 2 also. Task 2 එකෙත් word limit එක 1500. So you can have a so anything within 1350 to 1650 is acceptable. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so 1350 වලට අඩුවෙන් ලියන්නත් එපා 1650 වලට වැඩියෙන් ලියන්නත් එපා. Okay, just stick to this range. Okay, and yeah, so that's about it. And yeah, okay, and you must include in-text citations and references as per the Harvard referencing style. Okay, so citations and references both should be there. They both are compulsory, both should be there. Citations, so now you guys know well about citations and references, right? So citations are the ones that you put within the text. Brackets ඇතුලේ අපි text එක ලියාගෙන යද්දි text එක මැදින් දාන්නේ within brackets. Those are the citations, and references means that long form that you put at the end of your assignment. Okay, so both task 1 and 2, task 1 and 2 දෙකේම citations and references තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So guys, you can put two reference lists for task 1 and 2. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ task 1 එකේ reference list එක task 1 එක අන්තිමට දාන්න, task 2 එකේ reference list එක task 2 එක අන්තිමට දාන්න. හරිද? දෙකටම එක reference list එකක් අන්තිමට දාන්න එපා. task 1 එකට වෙනම reference list එකකුත් task 2 එකට වෙනම reference list එකකුත් දාන්න. Okay, so once you complete your task 1, put the reference list for task 1. At the end, put the reference list for task 1. At the task 1 එක ඉවර කරාට පස්සේ task 1 එකේ reference list එක task 1 එක අන්තිමට දාන්න. And then ඊට පස්සේ task 2 එක පටන් ගන්න. task 2 එක පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ task 2 එකේ reference list එක task 2 එක අන්තිමට දාන්න. හරිද? එතකොට task 1 එකට reference list එකකුත් task 2 එකට reference list එකකුත් වෙන වෙනම තියෙනවානේ. එහෙම reference list දෙකක් task 1 and 2 වලට වෙන වෙනම දාන්න. Okay, so once you do your task 1, put the reference list for task 1 at the end of task 1. And once you do your task 2, put the reference list for task 2 at the end of task 2. හරිද? එතකොට task දෙකටම reference list එකක් වෙන වෙනම තියෙනවා. And both the tasks should have citations as well. Okay, and make sure to follow only the Harvard referencing style. When a referencing styles follow කරන්න යන්න එපා. Stick to Harvard referencing style. Okay, and yeah, and if you include any figures or diagrams in text, citations must be there for figures and diagrams as well. And yeah, and then 1.5 line spacing, and font should be Times New Roman, and the font size should be 12. Okay, and the margins should be adjusted to these adjusted according to these specifications, and alignment should be justified. And yeah, and in your footer, you should put page numbers as your footer containing page numbers. I mean, your footer should contain page numbers, and your header should contain your name and your OTHM registration number. Okay, and this format should be followed when you submit the assignment. Okay, so module standard cover page means this one, this cover page that I showed to you guys in the beginning, this one. Okay, maker, you have to like fill in your details. Anit details mang fill කරලා තියෙන්නේ, so you have to fill in only your details. හරිද? මේක තමයි cover page එක. And then assignment brief. Assignment brief කියන්නේ this entire document. Okay, so this entire Word document that I'm showing to you guys right now, this is the assignment brief. Okay, so do not remove anything from this document. Keep it as it is. Assignment guidelines වත් මොනවත් අයින් කරන්න යන්න එපා මේකේ. Just keep it as it is. Keep this entire document as it is. Okay, and then at the end of this document, you have a plagiarism declaration page. Okay, so plagiarism declaration page එකෙත් I have filled in some information like my name, issue date and submission date. So you have to fill in your details only. Okay, your name, your OTHM registration number, and submitted. So you are submitting on 16th November, right? So here submitted in this submitted on box, you have to type 16th November. Okay, because you are submitting on 16th. And then these details I have filled for you guys, program and unit. Okay, so මෙතන මේ fill වෙලා නැති ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ details fill කරන්න in this declaration page. Okay, and then at the end, you need to put your signature and date. Okay, so signature එක දාන date එක මෙතන mention කරන්න. Yes, and signature also, guys, I mentioned this in your assignment 1 as well. Signature means you are not supposed to just type your name. හරිද? මේ නම නිකන් type කරන්න එපා. Put your signature properly. හරිද? So what you can do is, I told this to you guys in your first assignment as well. What you can do is sign on a piece of paper and then take a photo of your signature. Take a photo of it and copy and paste that photo on here in student signature. Okay, so signature එක හරියට හරි විදිහට හරි signature එක වෙන්න ඕනේ. නම type කරන්න එපා. Okay, put your proper signature. Okay, so this is the declaration page and assignment. Okay, so once you filled all the information in the declaration page, press enter. Right, press enter, go to a new page and start typing your assignment from this page. හරිද මේ උඩ තියෙන ඒවා ෆිල් කරන්න ඕනේ ඔය ටික සේරම ෆිල් කරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා අන්තිමට press the enter key, go to a new page and මෙතන ඉඳන් assignment එක type කරන් යන්න. මේ document එකේ තියෙන කිසි දෙයක් අයින් කරන්න එපා. Okay, so some of you guys like had like ask me some questions about that while doing your first assignment. There were few of you guys confused like මේ ඔක්කොම pages include කරන්න ඕනේද assignment guidelines ටික අයින් කරාට කමක් නැද්ද ඒ වගේ. Okay, so I hope I clarified those doubts. Okay, so do not remove anything from this document. Just go to the fill all the necessary details and scroll to the last page. හරිද මේ අන්තිම page එක වෙනකන් scroll down කරලා press enter key, go to a new page and start typing your assignment from here onwards. Okay, do not remove anything from the document. Okay, so guys, yeah, so your assignment will be evaluated based on this. Plagiarism will be checked and your writing styles, your sentence structures, grammar, punctuations will also be evaluated, and how you like how you set out arguments will also be evaluated, and how you present your findings or conclusions will also be evaluated. And referencing and citations are very crucial, extremely important. They will be evaluated as well. Okay, so these are the aspects of your assignment that will be evaluated. Okay, so that means you will be evaluated, your performance will be evaluated based on these aspects. Okay. All right, so I have made few slides for this assignment as well. So let me show you guys the slides. Guys, can you all see the PowerPoint slides?
Not yet.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Only your profile picture.
Oh, okay.
Now
Okay.
okay.
Now can see ne?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So before we start again අපි අද lesson එක පටන් ගන්න කලින් I included some slides to describe about the assignment as well. Okay, so firstly we'll discuss about the assignment and then we'll move on to today's lesson. Okay, so assignment for resource management in health and social care. So as you guys could see in the document, it's a written individual assignment. Okay, and the topics. Okay, so so in that document that I showed you, in that Word document, um, you guys could see the topics that you need to write for task 1 and 2, right? So මෙතන I did this for your assignment 1 as well. So then මං lecture notes වල තියෙනවා කිව්වට ඔයගලන්ට සමහරට මතක නැතුව ඇතිනේ මේක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ කියලා, because we did like today so far we did 7 lectures, right? So you might not remember like where was this, where was that, all of that, right? Topics මොන lecture notes වල තිබ්බ කියලා සමහරට මතක නැත්තම් this will be helpful. Okay, because here I have mentioned all the topics that you need to cover for your task 1 essay. And I also mentioned the lecture notes that you can refer to refer for these topics. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ඔගොල්ලෝ assignment එකේ ලියන්න ඕනේ topics ඉගෙන ගත්තේ මොන lecture notes වලද කියන එක I have mentioned in this slide. So that will make your life a bit easier. Okay, I mean ඔයගලන්ට නිකන් පෙරලගෙන ඔක්කොම lecture notes මේ බලන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ topics දෙක ගැන purpose of human resource management, objectives of human resource management ගැන ලියද්දි you can refer lecture note 1 and 2. හරිද? මොකද lecture note 1 and 2 වල තමයි අපි මේ topics ගැන කතා කරේ. Okay, so here in this slide I have mentioned the topics that you have to include in your task 1 and in which lectures did you learn these topics. හරිද? ඔයගලන්ට මතක නැත්නම් මොන lecture එකේද අපි මේ topics ඉගෙන ගත්තේ කියලා, do not worry. Here I have given you the lecture note number. Okay, so for these two. Okay, so these are the assessment criteria or the topics that you need to cover for your task 1 essay. So for these two topics, explain the purpose of human resource management, explain the objectives of human resource management. For these two topics, you can refer lecture note 1 and 2. And describe management and leadership styles, refer lecture note 3. Okay, and explain the importance of supervision and appraisal. We discussed this topic in lecture note 4, so you can refer lecture note 4 for this topic. Okay, and explain the importance of recruitment and retention of staff. Refer lecture note 5 for this topic. Okay, and describe theories of team development. May topic එක අපි discuss කළේ in lecture note 6. Okay, so you guys can refer lecture note 6 for this topic and analyze how to manage the impact of change was discussed in lecture note 5. Okay, so these are the lecture notes that you can refer for each and every assignment criteria for task 1. Okay, and I prepared the same for task 2 as well. Okay, so these are the assessment criteria or the topics that you need to cover in your task 2 essay. මේ task 2 essay එකට අවශ්‍ය assessment criteria තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. And මේ assessment criteria අපි discuss කළේ මොන lecture notes වලද කියන එක තමයි I have mentioned over here. Okay, so explain the regulatory system that underpins service delivery, process of inspection for health and social care services. These two topics we discussed in lecture note 7. So you can refer lecture note 7 for these two topics and explain the principles of budget management. This is the topic that we are discussing today. So today's lecture is lecture 8. So for this topic, you can refer today's lecture note 8. And these three topics will be discussed in the upcoming 2 lectures, lecture 9 and 10. Okay, so for these 3 topics, you can refer lecture notes 9 and 10. Okay, and yeah, and these are the aspects as I showed to you guys on that Word document as well. These are the aspects that that will be evaluated, the aspects of your assignment that will be evaluated. Okay, and yes, so guys, I'm not teaching you guys to do I'm not teaching how to do citations, referencing, plagiarism, summarizing, and paraphrasing again, because that is just a waste of time. We discussed it a lot in our previous lectures, right? When we were doing the communication in the caring professions module, I explained all these things very much in detail, how to do citations, how to do Harvard referencing, how to check your own plagiarism, how to summarize, how to quote other people's words, how to paraphrase, how to write in your own words. All these things were discussed very much in detail during our communication lectures, right? So you can refer these lecture notes. හරිද? දැන් communication වලත් discuss කරා කිව්වට ඔයගලන්ට මතක නැතුව ඇතිනේ මොන lectures වලද discuss කරේ කියලා. හරිද? So that's why I included the lecture note number over here. So අපි මේවා මේ citations, referencing, plagiarism, paraphrasing මේ ඔක්කොම අපි discuss කළේ in lecture note 7 and 8. හරිද? Lecture note 7 and 8 කියන්නේ not for this module, for the communication module. So refer these two lecture notes: Communication in the Caring Professions, lecture note 7, Communication in the Caring Professions, lecture note 8. හරිද? මේ lecture notes වල I have මේ lecture notes දෙකේම I have explained in detail how to do citations, how to do referencing, how to check your own plagiarism, how to summarize, how to paraphrase. මේ සේරම details මේ lecture notes දෙකේ තියෙනවා. Okay, so you guys can refer these two lecture notes. Okay, so since it is just a waste of time to teach the same thing all over again, I'm not teaching these things again. But since I already taught you guys these things during the communication lectures, you guys can refer these two lecture notes to refresh your memory on how to do citations, referencing, plagiarism, summarizing, and paraphrasing. Right, මේ ඔක්කොම දේවල් ටික you can see in lecture note 7 and 8, communication lecture note 7 and communication lecture note 8. Okay, so yeah, so when you do your assignment, make sure to follow only the Harvard referencing style. Okay, because that is the accepted referencing style by OTHM. So when a විදිහේ referencing styles when ඒවා මොනවත් follow කරන්න යන්න එපා. Make sure to follow only the Harvard referencing style. And referencing වලට I taught you guys referencing and citations වලට I taught you guys how to use cite this for me. Right? May like communication in the caring professions lecture note 7 okay if you look at the lecture note you can see I taught you guys how to use cite this for me website to create citations and references, right? So then එක අමතක වෙලා වගේ නම් read the lecture note 7. හරිද? ඒකේ මම ඔක්කොම steps කියලා mention කරලා තියෙනවා cite this for me එකෙන් කොහොමද citations and references generate කරන්න කියලා. Okay, and ඒක බලා ගන්න from lecture note 7 and you can use that cite this for me tool, cite this for me online tool to generate your citations and references. And I have mentioned this point earlier also. Yes, you can use cite this for me to create your citations and references, but there will be errors. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ මම මේක ඔයගලන්ට ඒ citations and referencing උගන්වද්දිත් කිව්වා there can be small errors. Cite this for me එකෙන් generate වෙන references වල පොඩි පොඩි errors තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහරලාට capitals වෙන්න ඕන නැති capitals වෙන්න ඕන නැති letters capitalize වෙලා තියෙනවා and සමහර වෙලාවට commas පොඩ්ඩක් එහෙම වෙලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. Punctuation marks පොඩ්ඩක් එහෙම වෙලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම පොඩි පොඩි errors because cite this for me කියන්නේත් online tool එකක්නේ, so it is not 100% accurate නැහැ ඒක. But අතින් citations අතින් references හදනවට වඩා ඒක මේ efficient නිසා තමයි we are using it, but ඒක මතත් 100% rely වෙන්න බෑ. මොකද ඒකෙත් පොඩි පොඩි වැරදි වෙලා එන ඒවා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ capitals වෙන ඒවා punctuations commas full stops එහෙම වෙන ඒවා හිම වෙන ඒවා තියෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා cite this for me එක citations and references generate කරන්න use කරද්දී ඒ citations and references lecture note 7 එකේ මම ඔයගලන්ට ඉගැන්නුවා කොහොමද මේ citation Harvard citations and references කරන්න කියලා. Cite this for me නැතුව Harvard citations and referencing rules මං teach කළා in lecture note 7. So ඔයගොල්ලෝ cite this for me එකෙන් references or citations generate කරාට පස්සේ ඒක අර මං teach කරපු ඒවත් එක්ක cross check කරන්න. If so හරියට reference එක ඇවිල්ලාද නැද්ද කියලා. හරිද? Let me show you the lecture note 7. Okay, so let me share those slides with you. Can you all see the slides, guys? Communication lecture 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So here, so this is the lecture in which you guys learned about Harvard referencing style. Okay, so adding references, bibliography according to Harvard referencing style. Okay. So here, so I was talking about this. Alright, so here I have showed you, I have taught you how to add citations um, and how to add citations and references for books, and how to cite an edited book, and how to add references for a chapter from an edited book, how to cite an e-book. හරිද ජර්නල් ආටිකල් එකක් සයිට් කරන්නේ කොහොමද නිවුස්පේපර් ආටිකල් එකක් සයිට් කරන්නේ කොහොමද ඒ ඔක්කොම details and magazine articles images සයිට් කරන්නේ කොහොමද ඒ ඔක්කොම details තියෙනවා in these few slides. Okay, in these slides. හරිද ඊට පස්සේ let me show you. Okay. So for example, when you are adding a reference, කෙනවා refer කරන්නේ book එකක් නම් you need to add a reference for that book, right? So when you add the reference for the book, the author's surnames should be there and the first letter of the surname should be written in capitals. And then you write the surname of the first author, put a comma, and put their initials in capitals. And then you write, if there are two authors, you put and. Okay, and symbol you have to write it as a word. Okay, and then we include the second author. Okay, surname of the second author. Surname ලියද්දී the first letter of the surname should be capital. Put a comma and we put their initial. And then we put a dot. හරිද? And then within brackets year එක. හරිද? ඔය විදිහට you have to අර මේ capitals punctuation marks එන්නේ කොහොමද ඒවා කියන්නේ මේ reference එකක් ලියද්දී capital වෙන්න ඕනේ මොන letters the punctuation marks කොහාට දෙන්නේ ඒ details සේරම you can find in this presentation because I have mentioned all the guidelines in this presentation. Okay, so cite this for me is just an easier method to do referencing. Okay, so that this is the point අර මං කියපු point එක තමයි මෙතන මම mention කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay, so cite this for me is just an online tool to make your life easy when it comes to referencing. හරිද? But like මේක මේ ලේසියට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් tool එකක් විතරයි. It is not 100% accurate. හරිද? පොඩි වැරදි වෙන්න පුළුවන් අර මං කිව්වා වගේ capitalize වෙන්න ඕනේ නැති letters capitalize වෙලා එනවා සමහර වෙලාවට and සමහර වෙලාවට full stops එහෙම ඒ කියන්නේ full stops වැටෙන්න ඕනේ නැති තැන්වල මේ full stops වැටිලා එනවා references generate වෙනවා එහෙම පොඩි වැරදි වෙනවා cite this for me tool එකෙත්. Okay, so how can we solve these issues? So like අපිට assignment එකේ වැරදියට references දාන්න බෑනේ. References should be put correctly in your assignments. Okay, so how can we correct these errors? Okay, so this is how you can correct these errors. Always cross-check your generated references and citations against the guidelines that you learned in the previous slides. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ cite this for me එකට ගිහිල්ලා references and citations cite this for me එකෙන් generate කරගත්තට පස්සේ ඒ citations and references හැමතිස්සෙම cross check කරන්න මේ මං මෙතන මේ slides වල දීලා තියෙන guidelines එක්ක. හරිද? මේ guidelines වල මොන letters ද capital වෙන්න ඕනේ කොහාටද full stops එන්නේ මොනවද brackets ඇතුලේ ලියවෙන්නේ link එකක් කොහොමද දාන්නේ access date එක කොහොමද වැටෙන්න ඕනේ හරිද capitals වෙන්න ඕනේ capitals වෙන්න ඕනේ letters මොනවද simple letters වලින් ලියවෙන්න ඕනේ letters මොනවද ඒ ඔක්කොම මෙතන මේ slides ටිකේ I have given you all the guidelines. At the slide number 20 ඉඳන් slide number 20 ඉඳන් 30 වෙනකන් තියෙන slides 10 ඇතුලේ I have given you all the guidelines about how to put references and citations in Harvard referencing style. හරිද? එතකොට මේ slides 10 ඇතුලේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගත්ත ඒවත් එක්ක cross check කරන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ cite this for me එකෙන් generate කරන references and citations. හරිද? cite this for me එක use කරන්න පුළුවන් references and citations generate කරන්න. මොකද අතින් ලියන එක ඇත්තටම time consuming නේ. So you can use cite this for me to make your life easy. But once you generate citations or citations and references from cite this for me, ඒක කෙලින්ම assignment එකට copy paste කරන්න නැතුව හැමතිස්සෙම ඒ citations and references ඔක්කොම මේ slides වල මම දීලා තියෙන guidelines එක cross check කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ වචන අකුරු හරියට capitalize වෙලාද, punctuations, full stops, brackets හරියට වැටිලාද, සමහර වචන තියෙනවා italics වෙන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? ඒවා හරියට italics වෙලාද? නැත්තම් මේ italics වෙන්න ඕනේ වචන නෙමෙයිද italics වෙලා තියෙන්නේ, වෙන වෙන වචනද italics වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙමනම් ඒවා වල italics අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ. හරිද? underline වෙන්න ඕනේ underline වෙලාද? එහෙම cite this for me එකෙන් generate කරන citations and references දෙකම ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ හරියට ඒවා generate වෙලාද කියන එක මේ guidelines බලලා cross මේ guidelines එක cross check කරන්න. Okay, so always make sure to cross check your generated references and citations against the guidelines that I taught to you guys in these few slides from slide number 20 to 30. ඒ guidelines එක හැමතිස්සෙම cross check කරලා බලලා මොනවා හරි වැරදියට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් මොනවා හරි citations and references වල වැරදියට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒවා correct කරන්න. හරිද? ඒකෙන් කෙලින්ම cite this for me එකෙන් එනවා කෙලින්ම copy paste කරන්න එපා assignment එකට because අර මං කිව්වා වගේ පොඩි වැරදි තියෙන්න පුළුවන් generate වෙන ඒ වගේ. So always cross check your generated references and citations both against the guidelines that I have given here in these slides. Okay, so because there can be errors, අර මං කලින් කිව්වා වගේ there can be small errors in capitals, italics, punctuations, etc. So always make sure to cross check and correct those errors. Okay, and plagiarism වලටත් I taught you guys how to use this tool called plagiarism detector net. Metan, I have given you the link also, so you can check plagiarism of your own assignment. Or you can just copy and paste your assignment here in this box and click on check plagiarism. එතකොට plagiarized content, copy paste කරපු content එක will be highlighted in red. And so whatever the content that is not highlighted in red, ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි content එකක් highlight වෙලා නැත්නම් red වලින් ඒ කියන්නේ that is written in your own words. හරි. So ඔයගලන්ට plagiarism check කරන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ plagiarismdetector.net එකේ. Okay, so I have given all those guidelines over here. හරිද? මේ lecture number 7 එකේ I taught you guys how to do citations, referencing and plagiarism. හරිද? plagiarism කොහොමද avoid කරගන්නේ කියන එකත් අපි discuss කරා in this lecture, communication lecture number 7 වල. Okay, so and plagiarism, how can you check your own plagiarism? By using this plagiarismdetector.net. Okay, so මෙතන slides වල I have described how to use it. Okay, so read these few slides and read these few slides and use this tool to check your plagiarism of your own assignment. Okay, so you have to check it before submitting it. You can use this online plagiarismdetector.net tool to check plagiarism of your assignment before submitting it. Okay, ඔයගලන්ට submit කරන්න කලින්ම plagiarism percentage එක බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, and ඒක use කරන විදිහත් I have explained. I'm not going to explain it again because I have explained it in this lecture note. And yeah, and if you check lecture note 8, communication in the caring professions lecture note 8 වල we discussed how to do summarizing, paraphrasing, direct quotations කොහොමද ලියන්නේ ඒවා අපි කතා කරේ lecture note 8 වල. Okay, so I'm not going to show it at the moment මම දැන් lecture note 8 එක පෙන්වන්න යන්නේ නැහැ, but we discussed though I'm just mentioning that we discussed those information in communication lecture note 8. හරිද? එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට summarizing paraphrasing ගැන මොනවා හරි memory refresh කරගන්න තියෙනවා නම් you can check communication lecture note 8 for that. Okay, so guys, yeah, so these are some really so I mean whatever we discussed so far, like all the things that we discussed so far are important, but these are some very important things. Okay, so do not copy and paste when you do your assignment. As I always say, do not copy and paste because plagiarism is a severe issue. It's a very serious issue. So do not copy and paste. Always write in your own words. Okay. And include citations and references in both task 1 and 2. Okay, so guys, this is something that I really needed to highlight in today's session because in your assignment 1, හරිද? Assignment 1 එක මං mark I am in the process of marking it. So මං assignment 1 එක mark කරද්දී I realized that some of you guys have put citations only in task 1 or only in task 2. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ සමහර වෙලාවට citations වැටිලා තිබ්බේ task 1 එකේ නෑ task 2 එකේ විතරයි citations තිබ්බේ. සමහර අයගේ task 2 එකේ citations නැහැ. task 1 එකේ විතරයි citations තිබ්බේ. හරිද? So I mean since that was your first assignment, I can understand that that there can be a few mistakes, but this assignment is not your first assignment, right? So other than assignment that is your second assignment ne? So I will be strictly checking all these things in your assignment 1 එකේ වගේ excuse කරන්නේ නැතුව I will be checking like everything strictly in assignment 2. Okay, because this is your second assignment and you guys are already familiar with these things, right? So assignment 1 එකේ I can sort of excuse you guys because එක පළවෙනි assignment එක නිසා, but since this is your second assignment, you will not get any excuses. Okay, so do not repeat the same mistake in assignment 2. Okay, because in assignment 1 I realized references ඔගොල්ලෝ හැමෝම references task 1 and 2 දෙකටම දාලා තිබ්බා. That is really good. Citations වල තමයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තිබ්බේ. Citations සමහරුන්ගේ task 1 එකේ තිබ්බා task 2 එකේ නෑ. තව සමහරුන්ගේ task 2 එකේ තිබ්බා task 1 එකේ නෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ එක task දෙකෙන් එකක විතරයි citations සමහරුන්ගේ තිබ්බේ. Okay, so do not repeat that mistake in assignment 2 as well, because assignment 2 එක ඔයගලගේ second assignment එක හින්දා you will not be excused for the mistakes. Okay, so assignment 1 එකේ you might be excused, but since this is your second assignment and since you are aware of all the assignment guidelines now, you will not be excused for these things in assignment 2. Okay, so assignment 2 marking will be really strict. So do not repeat that same mistake in assignment 2. Okay, so citations and references කියන දෙකම citations සහ references කියන දෙකම task 1 එකේ තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ, task 2 එකේ තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ. Okay, include citations and references both in task 1 and task 2. හරිද? Citations and references කියන දෙකම task 1 එකේ තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ, task 2 එකේ තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ. Task 1 should have citations and references. Task 2 should have citations and references. Okay, so when you do task 1, make sure it has citations and references both. And when you do your task 2 also, make sure you have citations and references both. හරිද? task 1 එකේ citations and references තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ, task 2 එකේ citations and references තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ. හරිද? මේ citations and references කියන්නේ tasks හැම එකේම තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඒවා. Okay, citations and references මෙතන task ඔයගලන්ට දෙකයිනේ තියෙන්නේ in this assignment. So citations and references should be there in task 1 and they should be there, citations and references should be there in task 1 and should be there in task 2 as well. Task 1 and 2 දෙකේම citations තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ, references තියෙන්නත් ඕනේ. Okay, and That is something, and this is also something very important. Okay, so do both task 1 and 2 in one MS Word document and submit as one document on the same deadline. Okay, so yeah, so make up some this is also something that some of you guys have confused. Uh, some of you guys are confused about. Hi, the metana task 1 and 2. Yes, we do have task 1 and 2. We have two tasks, but type both these tasks in one MS Word document. Do not do task 1 separately and task 2 separately. Do not do them separately. Okay, so do both task 1 and 2 in one MS Word document. එක MS Word document එකක task 1 and 2 දෙකම කරන්න. And then once you finish, submit as one document. හරිද? එක MS Word document එකේ task 1 and 2 දෙකම කරලා එක document එකක් විදිහට submit කරන්න on the same deadline. Okay, so I told you that the submission date is 16th November. Right? So 16th November කියන deadline එක task 1 and 2 දෙකටම අදාළයි. Okay, so 16th deadline 16th November කියන්නේ task 1 and 2 දෙකම කරලා දෙකම submit කරන deadline එක. Okay, so that deadline is valid for both the tasks. Okay, so what you should do is I showed you the Word document, right, which contained all the information about the assignment. Okay, so I will send it to the WhatsApp group as well after today, after we complete the lecture. I will send it to the WhatsApp group as well. So once I send that Word document to the WhatsApp group, as I said, fill in all your details. Like, so there are some details to fill in about yourself, like registration numbers, emails, contact details, all of that. The ඒ ටික fill කරාට පස්සේ scroll down to the last page and then press enter. Go to a new page and start typing your assignment from that page onwards. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ උඩ යටට ඔක්කොම fill කරන් තියෙන details fill කරලා scroll down කරලා enter press කරලා new page එකකට ගිහිල්ලා ඒ new page එකේ ඉඳන් assignment එක type කරන්න පටන් ගන්න and task 1 and 2 දෙකම ඒ document එකේම කරන්න. Task 1 and 2 should be done in the same MS Word document, and once you finish your assignment, submit it as one document. හරිද? ඒ task 1 and 2 දෙකම එකම MS Word document එකේ කරලා submit කරද්දී ඒ එක document එකක් විදිහට submit කරන්න on the deadline. Okay, so that is also something very important. Okay, so guys, that's all that I wanted to mention to you guys about the assignment. So, are there any doubts about the assignment? And yes, Rifka.
Yes, Miss Ganguly, I'm sorry. We were, I think I was under the impression that only citations and references were needed in the report, and we thought the essay should be written as a whole. So that's the reason I did not mention any citations and references for my essay.
Oh, okay, Rifka.
Okay, I was under that impression. So, but since you have corrected that, for this assignment, yes, we can include that as well. And also the margins, now you have again written that 2.54 margins. That didn't work for us earlier for that assignment as well. And we used the normal margin. So is that okay?
Yes, Rifka, margins, yes. I mean, if the settings, like if the settings that I have given do not work for you guys, you can use the normal margins because margins are not a crucial thing anyway. So it's completely fine if you go for normal margins. But for citations and references, those are really important. Like margins වගේ නෙමෙයි, citations and references are very crucial. So citations and references should be there for both tasks. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ essay එකක් වුණත් presentation එකක් වුණත්, like all the tasks should have citations and references both. So do not repeat it in the second assignment. Correct it in your second assignment, and margins, of course, you can go for normal margins if this doesn't work. That is completely fine.
Right. Okay. And also, I'm a little bit concerned now since I have not included references and citations for the essay. Like, will it affect my marks for the first assignment? Or
That let's see
since
how
because
it.
I was not, I think I was under the impression that only it was needed for the report. So that's
Okay.
the reason. So
Okay.
since you have mentioned this, I'm a little bit concerned about my second task for
Uh,
the early assignment.
okay. So Rifka, like you will be receiving a feedback for your assignment 1 once
Okay.
we finish marking. So like if there was an issue, you can include the, like we will give you a solution like what you should do and all. Okay, so do
Right.
not worry much about that now. Okay,
Right. Okay.
because
Thank.
any no worries, Rifka. You will be getting a feedback for your assignment 1. එතකොට ඒ assignment 1 එකේ if you have done any mistakes, we'll advise you on how to correct them. Okay, so you
Okay.
can correct them and like submit again if
Right.
there were any issues. Okay, so do not worry much about it now. It's done and dusted anyway now, so do not worry much about it now. Mistakes do not repeat in the second one. That's it.
Right. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
No worries, Rifka. And
Excuse
Lahir,
me, ma'am.
yes, Tilani.
Will we done that both task under the one table of content or two table of content?
You can include only one table of content, Tilani. No need to make two.
Okay. Thank you.
And table of contents also, you can make a simple one. Okay, කෙනෙකු dark complex table of content එකක් හදන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. Just make it a simple table of content එකක් තිබ්බොත් ඇති. And yes, Lahiro, you will be, yes, we are in the process of marking it. So soon after we complete the marking, you will receive the results. Okay, you will receive a feedback for your assignment 1. Okay, so මම ඔය දැනට අර ඔයගොල්ලෝ මං දැනට assignment 1 එකේ දැක්කපු issues කීපයක් තමයි මම ඔය raise කළේ. No worries, Lahiro. Pubutu, please let me know what is the minimum number of references that we should include for each. Okay, so so Pubutu, there is no such minimum number of references. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම minimum මෙච්චර references අඩුම තරමේ මෙච්චර references ප්‍රමාණයක් දාන්න ඕනේ කියලා එහෙම rule එකක් නැහැ. But 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 since this is an essay, at least 5 to 6 references what දාන්න බලන්න. හරිද? Because like presentation එකක් වගේ නෙමෙයිනේ. This is an essay. This is a written assessment නේ. So task 1 එකට task 1 එකයි task 1 is also an essay, task 2 is also an essay. So essay එකක් නිසා එහෙම like autumn has not given any guidelines about any minimum number of references. ඒගොල්ලෝ එහෙම minimum number of references මෙච්චරක් තියෙන්න ඕන කියලා මුකුත් කියලා නැහැ. autumn එකෙන් එහෙම මුකුත් කියලා නැහැ. But essay එකකට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් essay එකක් කියන්නේ it's a like a like it's a written assignment ne, and like essay is something that you write in detail, right? So a hinda um um like put more than 5, at least more than 5 references වත් දාන්න for task 1 and task 2. හරිද? කියන්නේ task 1 and 2 දෙකටම references පහක් නෙමෙයි මං කියන්නේ task 1 එකට අඩුම තරමේ like පහකට වඩා references දාන්න. අඩුම කියන්නේ references 5ත් 10ත් අතර ප්‍රමාණයක්වත් අඩුම තරමේ දාන්න task 1 එකටත් task 2 එකටත්. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ task 1 එකට if you put 6 references, task 2 එකට if you put 6 references, so in total you have 12, right? ඒ කියන්නේ මං කියන්නේ මේ references 6ක් task 1 and 2 දෙකටම දාන්න කියලා නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ task 1 එකට 3යි 2 එකට 3යි එහෙම නෙමෙයි මං කියන්නේ දෙකටම නෙමෙයි දෙකටම එකට count වෙන විදිහට නෙමෙයි මං කියන්නේ task 1 because when I was explaining also I told you that you should have two reference lists for task 1 and task 2 separately, right? So when you put the reference list for task 1, make sure to have at least 6 references or more, and for task 2 also make sure to have at least 6 references or more. The 6 kiyanne me if you can do more that is much better. 6 kiyanne at least. Okay, essay එකක් හින්දා at least 6 are needed. හරිද? එතකොට task 1 එකට make sure like have at least 6. Task 2 එකටත් at least 6. Yes, Janaka.
In the first assignment, there may be small mistakes from us, ma'am. But second one, we will correct those flaws and present them correctly. And
Yes.
please excuse for first one for submitting. I'm getting some mistakes. I unable to handling and getting some mistakes. Please ignore that, ma'am, and I'll sure done in second assignment.
Yes, Janaka, that is completely understood by me because that was your first assignment. And like most of you guys are working as well during the weekdays, right? So you guys were doing assignments while handling all those stuff as well. So that is very appreciated by me as well. And the mistakes that happened in your assignment 1 also, I do understand it because that was your first assignment. So so the thing is like even like yes the lecturers can excuse for the assignments, but the thing is there is something called external verification for your assignments. You guys know that, right? External verification kiyanne a person from Autumn UK will check your assignments like once we mark the assignments and send the assignments to them, and then a person from Autumn will check whether the lecturers have done the marking properly or not. Okay, so yeah, and then they will give their feedback. Okay, so
Thank you, ma'am.
no worries, Janaka. So එතකොට එයා මොකක් හරි issue එකක් දැන් අපි mark කරලා තියෙන විදිහට against ඒගොල්ලෝ මොකක් හරි issue එකක් raise කළොත් තමයි like if they agree with the way that we have marked, then no problem at all. Now lecturers don't have any issue also. You guys also don't have to worry. Okay, but අර දැන් අපි mark කරලා තියෙන විදිහට වෙනස් විදිහක feedback එකක් එයාගෙන් ආවොත් තමයි that we have to think about it. හරිද? ඒ හින්දා that's why I said අර මේ external verification කියලා එකක් තියෙන හින්දා තමයි I'm always telling you guys to minimize the errors as much as possible. හරිද? වැඩේ අර පුළුවන් තරම් හරියටම කරන්න කියලා මම ඕගොල්ලන් ගොඩක් encourage කරන්නේ. මගෙන් විතරක් නෙමෙයිනේ assignments evaluate වෙන්නේ. Right? There's an external verifier as well. ඒකයි මම අර හැමතිස්සෙම මේ like I push you guys to follow the guidelines, everything, and do it properly. Like external verification එකකුත් මෙතන තියෙන හින්දා in this diploma. Okay, so guys, do not worry about the first assignment now. I mean, it's done and dusted. It's like ඉවරයිනේ එක, so do not worry about it now. Like correct all those mistakes in your assignment too. Okay, so ඒකේ assignment 1 එකේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අතින් වෙච්ච මොන හරි mistakes තියෙනවා නම් like correct them in your assignment 2. ඒවා assignment 2 එකේ repeat කරන්න යන්න එපා. Okay, so that's the best thing to do. Just correct your mistakes in assignment 2. Yeah, Sachini, should we put everything we get from the website as an extract? Should as an extract means Sachini, you mean as a summary? What did you mean by an extract? Summary එකක් විදිහට ලියන්න ඕනේ කියලා දහන්නේ. Yeah, if you
නැහැ මිස් මේ උපුටා ගැනීමක් විදිහට දාන්න ඕනද කියලා තමයි මං ඇහුවේ.
ඕකේ. එහෙම උපුටා ගැනීමක් විදිහට ඒ කියන්නේ quotation එකක් විදිහට දාන්න එපා සචිනී, because like when you put a lot of quotations in your assignment, your plagiarism goes high. මොකද quotation එකක් දාද්දී අපි මුකුත් අපේ වචනෙන් ලියන්නේ නැහැනේ. අපි වෙන තැනක තියෙන එකක් එලින්ම අරගෙන මේ අර inverted commas ඇතුලේ නේ දාන්නේ. මේ උපුටා ගැනීමක් දාද්දි. එතකොට ඔයා ලොකු කියන්නේ direct quotations එකක් දෙකක් පොඩි පොඩි ඒවා දැම්මට කමක් නැහැ. but website එකක ගන්න ලොකු content එකක් quotation එකක් විදිහට දැම්මොත් ඒක ලොකු content එකක් නේ. එතකොට ඔයාගේ plagiarism high වෙනවා. හරිද? plagiarism check කරද්දි මේ මුළු part එකම red වෙලා එනවා මේ ලොකු percentage එකක් එක්ක. හරිද? ඒ හින්දා quotations, yes you can use quotations in your assignment, but as less as possible. පුළුවන් තරම් අඩුවෙන් use කරන්න, because quotations වැඩිපුර use කරාම it increases your plagiarism. Okay? So is that clear, Sachini?
Yes ma'am, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so guys, I think I cleared all your doubts about the assignment. Okay, so wish you all the best with the assignment, and while you are doing the assignment also, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay? Like you can call me or message me on WhatsApp or anything if you have anything like once you start doing the assignment කරන්න පටන් ගත්තාම තව ප්‍රශ්න එනවනේ. So when you get those doubts, when you need something to be clarified, you can always reach out to me. Okay, so guys, yeah, so since we are done with the assignment, we can now start the lecture for today. Okay, so I told you that we are talking about budget management today, right? So we already discussed about the assignment. Okay, so now we can start off with the lecture topic for today, which is budget management. Okay, and guys, this assignment, you will have to submit our calling assignment එක වගේම you have to submit it you have to submit it on Teams. Teams වලින් තමයි submit කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. And what else? Okay, I will issue the assignment on Teams. හරිද? මම ඔයගලන්ට පෙන්නපු Word document එක once I'm done with the lecture, I will send it on the WhatsApp group. And ඊට අමතරව I will upload it in the Teams as well. අර කලින් assignment එකත් I uploaded on Teams නේ. In addition to the WhatsApp group. So මං Teams එකෙත් ඒක add කරන්න. So you can see the assignment on WhatsApp and on Teams both. Okay, after this lecture. Okay, and guys, something really important. So may assignment එකේ when you submit the assignment, please make sure to click on the turn in button. Okay, ඒක click කරන්න බැරි වෙලා ප්‍රශ්න වගේක් තිබ්බ assignment 1 එකේ. Okay, so because turn in click කරේ නැත්නම් it looks like that you have not submitted the assignment. Okay, එහෙම turn in click කරන්න බැරි වෙලා වෙච්ච ප්‍රශ්න ටිකකුත් තිබ්බ assignment 1 එකේ. So
I also, ma'am.
yes, not only you, it has happened to like a few other students as well. So that's why I thought of bringing that point up now. හරිද? මේ ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක බලන කෙනාට පේන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ turned in කියන එක status එකේ වැටෙන්නේ if you didn't click that button. Turn in click කරේ නැත්නම්
But I uploaded, ma'am, before 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, but you forgot to click that was the issue. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
එතකොට status එක viewed කියලා විතරයි මේ submission status viewed කියලා විතරයි වැටෙන්නේ, turned in කියලා වැටෙන්නේ නැහැ. So it looks like that you haven't submitted the assignment on time. හරිද? ඒ හින්දා මේ this time once you attach your work, please make sure to click on the turn in button. හරිද? ඒක අමතක කරන්න එපා. අනිවාර්යෙන් turn in button එක මතක තියාගෙන අනිවාර්යෙන්ම click කරන්න. Yeah, then only the status will be shown as turned in. Okay, so turn in button එක මේ පාර like make sure to click the turn in button when you submit the assignment. Okay, so guys, then we can Yeah, then we can move on to today's lesson, which is about budgeting. Okay, so today you will be learning about budget management. Okay, so before we learn about budget management and budgeting, let's see, like you should know what is budget, right? You should know the meaning of the word budget. Okay, so let's learn what is a budget, what is the definition for the word budget, and after that we can discuss about budget management, the principles of budget management and all of that. Okay, so yeah. So guys, as per your understanding, what is a budget? If I ask you guys to define the word budget, how will you define it?
I think, ma'am, analyzing funds for previous expenses and future, 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 present, and forecast expenses.
Exactly, Janaka. That's a really good answer. Yes, that is the definition for the budget. Okay, so budget is actually budget is a financial plan. Okay, so a financial plan where you estimate your present expenses and revenues and your future expenses and revenues. Okay, so budget.
Allocate the money.
Exactly, yes, that's a really good answer. Yes, allocating money. Okay, so allocating money for your for your present needs and your future needs as well. Okay, so yeah, so those are some really good answers, guys. Yes, so budget is a financial plan that takes into account estimated revenue and expenses over a certain period of time. So which means budget is a financial plan where you take your revenue and expenses where you take into account your revenue and expenses. Okay, so expenses means the amount of money that you spend, and revenue is your income. Revenue means income, the amount of money you get. Okay, so when you make a budget, you need to take both these things into consideration. You need to consider your income and expenses both. Okay, and so budget will be prepared for a certain period of time. Okay, so budget is not something that you can prepare and use for the rest of your life. Okay, so budget applies for a certain period of time because, like, why can't we use a budget for a long period of time? Because, like, I mean, because the prices of things do not remain the same, right? Sometimes the prices go down, sometimes most of the time the prices go up, but once in a while prices go down as well. So prices of things always change, right? It keeps changing. So that is why you can't stick to a budget for a very long period of time. Okay, so budget is something that you can make only for a certain period of time. Okay, so yeah, after you make a budget, you need to re-evaluate it periodically. Okay, so you need to evaluate this budget periodically, because why should you evaluate it periodically? Because as I said, the prices might go up or the prices might go down. The prices always change, right? So according to these changes, you need to adjust your budget as well. Okay, so to adjust your budget, you need to evaluate your budget periodically. Okay, so periodically you need to check whether your budget is still valid with the current situation or not. Okay, so if the prices have gone up, you need to do some edits to your budget. If the prices have gone down, then also you need to do some changes to your budget. Okay, so you need to keep checking your budget periodically and do the necessary changes. Okay, so when it comes to budgets, there are three main types of budgets: balanced budget, surplus budget, or deficit budget. Okay, so here in this picture, you can see what are surplus budgets, balanced budgets, or deficit budgets. Okay, so deficit budget means when your expenses are higher than revenue. Okay, so when your expenses are higher than your income, that is a deficit budget. And when your expenses are equal to your income, that is a balanced budget because both the sides are balanced, both are equal. And when your expenses are lower than your income, that means your income is higher than your expenses. That is a surplus budget. Okay, so these are the three types of budget. Okay, so now you know what is a budget. So what is budgeting? What is the definition for budgeting? Okay, so budgeting is the process where you make a budget. The process of making a budget is called budgeting. Okay, so budgeting is an operational plan. Budgeting is an operational plan that happens in any organization, in any sort of company. Okay, yeah. So here in budgeting, um, in budgeting, in budgeting, we express the organizational objectives or organizational goals in financial terms and based on the expected income and expenditure. Okay, so
It
budget.
mean that providing money for the budget.
Yes, Taranga, yes, you might need you might need to provide money for the budget as well. Yes, that is just one part of budgeting. Budgeting, the definition for the word budgeting means the whole process of making the budget, like the several departments of the company coming together and then evaluate the market trends and preparing the budget, evaluating the budget. So this entire whole process is called budgeting. Okay. All right. Okay, so the entire process is called budgeting. Okay,
I think,
so
ma'am, budget always depend on funds, but overall we should budget any amount of workers, amount of some kind of inputs or any
yes.
other transaction.
Yes, Janaka. So there are several factors that we need to consider when preparing a budget, like you said. Okay, so the number of workers, because you need to pay salaries to them, right? So you need to like check how much amount that you should pay as salaries to your workers, and then what are the bills that you have, the water bills, electricity bills, and other utility bills. Okay, and likewise, you will be learning about those factors towards like in the upcoming slides. Okay, so there are, like you said, there are several factors that you need to consider when preparing a budget. Okay, so budgeting is the entire process of making a budget. The whole process of making a budget is called budgeting. Okay, so budgeting is basically an operational plan that happens in any sort of organization or company. Okay, so it's not limited only to health and social care sector. Budgeting happens in all sorts of companies and all sorts of organizations. Okay, so budgeting allows you to have a overall picture of the total operation of an enterprise in monetary terms. Okay, so budgeting allows you to have a clear picture of an organization in financial terms, like how does the organization or the company looks in financial terms. Okay, so you can get that picture from budgeting. Okay, so why do we do budgeting? What is the purpose of budgeting? Okay, so um, these are the purposes of budgeting. Okay, so budgeting allows us to turn or translate the organizational objectives and goals into financial terms, right? The objectives are translated, um, the objectives are into a spending pattern. Okay, mechanism for translating fiscal objectives. Fiscal objectives means the financial objectives into a projected monthly spending pattern. Okay, so like budgeting allows you to turn the organizational or the translate the organizational objectives and goals um, into a financial pattern. Okay, so you will be able to see the financial or the monetary aspects of your organizational objectives and goals. Okay, so that is one purpose. And budgeting also allows you to plan your finances really well and to for you to make decisions as well. Okay, so financial planning and decision for financial planning and for decision making also we need budgeting. And another purpose of budgeting is budgeting clearly recognizes controllable and uncontrollable cost areas. Okay, so when you run a company, there will be certain cost areas that you can control, and there can be certain cost areas that you can't control. Right? So yeah. So if you like so if you take like your employee salaries, like yes, you have to pay them, like of course you have to pay your employees, but like you can decide but yes, you have, it's compulsory to pay the salaries, but still you can decide if you want to decrease their salaries or increase their salaries, right? I mean, like when companies are going through tough times, sometimes the salaries are decreased, right? So the top management has the power to decide whether the salaries should be increased or whether those should be decreased. But if you think about, so it is a controllable area because you have the power to think whether the salaries should be increased or decreased. But if you think about the utility bills, like electricity and water bills, so those, I mean, you definitely need electricity and water to run any sort of a company, right? Like, so that is some sort of an uncontrollable cost because you can't help, you need them. You need some amount of electricity and you need a certain amount of electricity and a certain amount of water uh, to run any sort of a company, right? So that is sort of uncontrollable because you can't help, you need those resources, right? So likewise, there are certain cost areas that you can control and there are certain cost areas that you can't control. Okay, so budgeting helps you to recognize these controllable and uncontrollable cost areas. Okay, and budgeting is also a format for you to communicate your financial objectives. And once you finalize your budget and once you present the budget to the top management, it allows you to get feedback for the budget as well. The top management will give their feedback about the budget. So like being able to receive a feedback from the top management is also something very important when it comes to this budgeting. Okay, so that is another purpose of budget. It allows you to receive feedback from your managers, because once you finalize the budget and once you present the budget to them, they will give their feedback to you about the budget that you presented. Okay, and the budgeting also helps you to understand the problematic areas that you have in the company, and this allows you to think of the solutions that you can the solutions that you can take to overcome these problems. Okay, so budgeting helps you to identify whatever the problems that are there in the company or in your workplace. And so once you identify the problems, once you identify the problem areas, you can think of solutions to solve these problems effectively. Okay, so helps to identify problem areas and facilitates effective solutions. Okay, that is another purpose of budgeting. Okay, and budgeting also allows you to measure the financial success of your organization. Okay, so budgeting also allows us to get an idea about the financial success of the organization. That is another purpose of budgeting. Okay, so here we are going to learn about some characteristics of budgeting. Okay, so these characteristics should be there when it comes to budgeting. Okay, so first of all, the most important characteristic is that your budget should be flexible. Okay, because I told you that we are reviewing the budget periodically, right? We review the budget periodically. So the prices might have gone up or the prices might have gone down. So accordingly, we need to do changes to our budget. Okay, so to be able to do the changes to the budget, it should be flexible, right? Because if it is not flexible, we will not be able to do those changes to the budget. Okay, so the budget should be flexible. The budget should be something that is open for edits and changes. Okay, so to be open for edits and changes, it should be flexible. Okay, so flexibility is a crucial characteristic. Okay, and you should make the budget by taking past, present, and future into consideration. Okay, so when you make a budget for your company, you should not pay attention only to the present or only to the past or only to the future. You need to take all these times into consideration. Like we need to pay attention to past performances, present performances, and future performances all when making a budget. And yeah, and budget should be a product of joint venture and cooperation of executive department head at different level of management. Okay, so that means budget should not be made by just one person or few people. Instead, different levels of management should take part in the process of making a budget. Okay, so the top level managers, senior managers, middle level managers, and like recently appointed managers. Likewise, like the different levels of management should involve in the process of making a budget. Okay, so making a budget should be a teamwork. Different departments and like different people from different levels of management should take part in the process of making a budget. It should be a teamwork. And budget should be represented in specific numerical terms. Okay, so you guys know what are numerical terms, right? Those statistical terms like net income, gross income, likewise total expenditure. So you have seen these statistical words, right? So budget should be made using these numerical terms or statistical terms. Okay, and the top managers should provide their guidance throughout the process of uh, making a budget. Okay, so throughout the process of budgeting, top management should be there to provide their advices and guidance. Okay, so you should have support of top management throughout the budgeting process. Okay, throughout the period of its planning and implementation, top managers to support. Okay, so guys, is there anything that you did not understand from uh, budget? that you did not understand about budgeting or about the assignment? Like, are there any doubts?
No, ma'am, clear.
All right. Okay, can I hear from the rest as well?
Clear, ma'am.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
Miss Priya.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. So then we can wind up the lecture for today. Okay, so there are a few slides to be discussed. So we can discuss them in our next week's class. Okay, so from slide number 18 onwards, we can discuss in the next week's class. Okay, so you have this lecture note already on WhatsApp. I will send the assignment on the WhatsApp group now. Okay, and within today, අද දවස ඇතුළත I will upload the assignment on Teams as well. Okay, so guys, that's it for today's lecture. Okay, so wish you all start off your assignment now. Do not wait until the last minute, because for this first one you got an extension. පළවෙනි assignment එක නිසා, but like මේකට you will most probably you will not get an extension. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි if you fall sick වගේ නම් like that is a valid reason නේ. If you fall sick, if in case you fall sick, so ඒ වගේ නැතුව අර like ඔයගලන්ට workload එක manage කරගන්න අමාරුයි කියන එකටත් අපි extension එකක් දුන්නානේ first assignment එකට. මේකට එහෙම extensions ලැබෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි, ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ ගොඩක් දුරට. So Hinda, do not wait until it will be very hard for you guys to get an extension for this assignment. So do not wait until the last minute. Start working on your assignment from today onwards. Okay, so and if you have any doubts about the assignment, you guys can always reach out to me. Yeah, guys. So I will send the assignment on the WhatsApp group now, and within the day I will upload it on Teams as well. Okay, so guys, that's all for today's lecture. I will wind up the lecture now. Then I'll see you guys again next week. Have a nice day, guys.
Have a nice day, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank
No
you,
worries,
ma'am.
Chanaka. No worries, Taranga. No worries, Puttu.